Hi everyone. I want to make sure I look pretty. Have to lick my lips. Maybe I put some rouge on it for you. 1 second. Everybody knows rouge. This is the rouge, almost like Moulin Rouge. Put that in here. We used to call this Lobello. Now we call it Nivea. It's okay. So yeah, welcome back. How's everyone? I will start with the commercial. Currently, this is my favorite drink. It's strawberry flavored. It has no fakeness in it, no fake colors, no fake sweeteners, and no sugar, no fake colors. This became my second favorite drink, but many others consider this their most favorite drinks. This is ginger root beer. It's very creamy. The label doesn't say that it's creamy, but it's creamy. And if you want to have a nice root beer float, this is the product you want to use with a nice vanilla ice cream. It's a Canadian thing, actually, I think. I could be wrong, could be British, could be French. I learned this in Canada about 26 years ago. I am here since 27 years ago. Today we will open this. This is the last one I got from the package. This is a good looking package. You can tell this is my favorite. If you may wonder what is your favorite, then just of anything really, just use your self-awareness with your consciousness to realize what you are using the most because you like it so much. It could be getting in contact with someone, it could be looking at someone, it could be following up on someone, it could be feeling well, feeling good regarding to someone. And when you're doing that more often rather than to others, that means there is love, undeniable love, which is easy over here to do because we are in America, on the north side of the Americas, and the denial is not here. So over here, it's very easy to undeniably love something, much easier, rather than somewhere where the denial is over there already, doing nothing else but denying stuff. I'm just kidding. Where the denial as a channel, as a tunnel, was actually built to irrigate northern Africa, to actually realize the fact and know how dry northern Africa has become after building up on the surface of it with the crystallized surface, bottom of the surface. So if you dig down, you will find the Saharas. Under the Saharas, you will find a beautiful crystallized layer of ground, and then underneath it you will find huge caves or the ocean itself, including of course huge tunnels, canals, channels, and columns. But that's another story. What actually the Atlanteans have left behind for the Egyptians or for the Africans, because they were about to deny the fact how dry Africa was. simply by trying to correct that massive land on northern Africa. And they were trying to use irrigation systems to bring it back to life, which was once a flourishing empire, a kingdom, a long, long time ago. But of course, that was 12.6 thousand years ago, of which the global war, the biggest known war on the planet ever existed yet, has completely destroyed the Northern African civilization at that point, but also destroyed uh, the current area of Canada or the United States and many other areas also on the southern on the southern part of or in the middle part of the Americas, the American continent, and also destroyed many other areas around the world. Of course, in Asia, you can still very well recognize that all the lands which turned to technically wasteland, they were once flourishing civilizations 12.6 thousand years ago. It is something what we don't really want to remember, and it is something what we don't really want to repeat. This is why we do everything what we can to keep peace on earth. Today, my peacekeeping ability will extend as far as Heaven's Net. Heaven's Net is supported by Heaven's love. Love is the energy of life. As long as we are truly caring for something or loving something as humans, there will be life. Which, of course, from that point on, will need to be sustained, protected, cherished, nourished, appreciated to to keep prosperity or to keep it prosperously. We are at Heaven's Net. The next material will be, as long as I am with you, you are with me over here right now. We are over here. This is the evidence. Today I will introduce a material which was produced by Sue Fitzmaurice or Maurice. Pronounce this name, this label of a human in a way you wish to, whatever floats your boat. Float, float, float your boat gently down the stream. So Heaven's Net consists information from heaven by humans, by other humans, not only me. But luckily in the past more than 20 years, or no, not more than 20, past 19 years, in the past 19 years I was able to collect, research, collect, then also represent some of the most wisest, most intelligent men's thoughts, beliefs, ideas, wisdoms, sages, quotations, life lessons. Heaven's Net over here in this case, of course, mainly introduces wisdoms which were created by me. This particular one was created by Sue. Sue was a very, very good human, good woman, human woman. In this case, Wu does not mean dog because it has double W, starts with W, and it doesn't say wow man, it says woo man. And I know the dogs say woo woo woo, but that got really nothing to do with the females being labeled as women in this case. What it means to be authentic. So authenticism is a huge, being authentic is a huge step forward in this world on the path where you actually walking instead of other people walking on the path for you, or you walking on another path which is not yours, so someone else's path. Authenticity will always save you from being misled, from being misguided, from being diverted from your kismet, from your destiny, from your own legend. Authenticity will always protect you, will always protect you to be you, to be well as however you are. Once you will learn more about others in this world, which we cannot really avoid because we are sharing the world with many, many others. By quality of nature, we are sharing the human planet pretty much with the entire universe. Of course, the hostile, host, host, most hostile beings, they aren't around us anymore because we had to separate them after giving up on trying to healing them, because simply we believe that it will be not possible. It will be not possible without the actual hostile living beings losing their authenticities. And we don't want to we don't want to take other beings' authenticities away, because that would be against natural laws. But what we done in the past is the same thing what we are doing up to today as good humans. We are living with living beings or things of which we are capable of without stripping them or stealing them or perhaps robbing them out of their authenticities. So we will try our best always, all the time, to keep living beings or things alive authentically, while also we will be safe. And then when we cannot do that, then we will always try to find solutions for those living beings which will also benefit us instead of otherwise. That means instead of harming us. As you can see, I really love this pop. I highly recommend it to you too. They have many varieties. Now we are back at the commercial uh, part of this representation. I really inspire anyone to try these products. I don't have any materialistic or intellectual interest or benefits of doing this commercial. My only benefit is that you will drink a good pop, therefore you will feel better rather than drinking something else which will may not be as good for you as this one. That's my only benefit. For me, it's good enough. As long as you happy, I'm happy. As long as you well, from that point on, I will also have a chance to be well too. Since everything is mutual. Let's get back to Sue. Everybody knows I love Sue. I think Sue is an abbreviation for Susan. In this case, her family name is Fitzmaurice or Maurice. Here is what it sounds like. What it means to be authentic. To be more concerned with truth than opinions. To be sincere and not pretend, to be free from hypoc- hypocrisy or hypocrisy or hypocrisy. That means walk your talk, to know who you are and to be that person, to not fear others seeing your vulnerability, vulnerabilities, vulnerable, vulnerabilities. That means your weaknesses. Of course, as a human, you don't really have weaknesses unless you are, or something to you is not human natured. That's the actual only weakness for us. When something goes through us, but it's not human nature. That means we are not kind. But then at that time, that's not us. Being confident to walk away from situations where you can't be yourself. Being awake to your own feelings. Being free from others' opinions of you, especially if they're not true. We really shouldn't bother. Accepting and loving yourself. Number one. So this is it. I will go through this again with explanations in a second. If you feel like a second. So once again, what it means to be authentic. To be more concerned with truth than opinions. To be sincere and not pretend. To be free from hypocrisy. Walk your talk. To know who you are and to be that person. To not fear others seeing your vulnerabilities. Being confident to walk away from situations where you can't be yourself. Being awake to your own feelings. Being free from others' opinions of you. Accepting and loving you. According to Sue Fitzmaurice, this is what it means to be authentic. I really admired this work, therefore I saved it. In December in 2015 on December 16th, so more than 11 years ago. I don't know how much you can actually see the date on this. It's over there somewhere. It's really blurry. Right. Okay, to be more concerned with the truth than opinions, I think it's easy to understand. When you hear someone saying something about something, and most of the time, at first we hear an opinion. So at most of the times we hear an opinion. As you can see, I got 3 cougars in the back. They are still growing. That's why they are pampered in the back. They are babies. Got a red one, a light blue one, as well as an orange one. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, let's get back to this. So most of the times we will hear an opinion when we hear someone saying something about something or someone. Now, is that true or not? If we look at something from how we know if something is true or not, the way we know that is that we're looking at something what has been told from every angle. And then if we still find the same truth, the same authenticity, that means it is true. Now, if it's only true compared to the nature of the true nature, quality of nature of someone or something, if it's about a nature of something or someone. And then if it's not the nature of someone or someone, but the happenings resulting an event which is true, but not aligning, not actually resonating with someone's true nature or something's true nature, then it's not true. For example, Bill stole that, or Bob. But really, it wasn't Bill or Bob as a human, it was something through Bill or Bob. Perhaps it's just an example, don't worry about the names at this time. Perhaps an alien nature. A parasitic nature, virus nature, bacteria nature, especially on the virus infections. But it was not Bill or Bob. But something through them. But how will I prove that to society or for an intergalactic community? It's very like as a justice professional. It's very simple. I simply will ask Bill or Bob to. I will ask them not to have that alien nature, so they will be able to actually prove to all others that they were not the ones who committed something what was not belonging to their nature. Of course, in the meantime, we will also reveal which nature caused the defect or the trouble, because they will always show up. So, what do the aliens earn and how they do it? They're locking energies with pollutions and disturbances, then deferring them, then projecting them through the victims. But of course, at that point on, those coordinated actions or events or consequences or results will not belong to, authentically will not belong to the actual victims, rather than those who were victimizing because they are also victims. But at that point, those offenses are naturally belonging to the alien nature carrying things or beings. It is easy to think about this when your mind is not poisoned and not polluted. Like I told my mom a few days ago or yesterday that now I can think easier since there is no poison in my brain anymore. And until there is poison in there, the poison will most likely blame humans. That's how we know that that's the poison. That is actual poison. When the poisonous natures or the harmful natures are getting blamed on humans, then we know that is actually not authentic. To be sincere and not pretend. Now you don't want to pretend, and if you do pretend, it's not you. Sometimes you may lie or pretend, playing an actor without any others knowing about it, and that's a crime because that is deceiving, there is sabotaging in it, and cheating in it, and there's trouble in it. If you are pretending, but everybody knows you are pretending because you are a good actor, that's storytelling. That's okay. Of course, we will always need to remember that not the individuals in the movies who are killing other humans, and we also need to remember that they are not killing other humans, not shooting them if it's an action movie. Like, let's say there's an action movie, but all of that is just an entertainment, all of that is fake. And for those who are troubled, it is actually a medicine at that point on. As long as they are understanding the fact that all the troubles in the movies, in the action movies or dramas, are fake. To be free from hypocrisy, walk your talk. I don't know how this word actually related to Hippocrates. He was a very good philosopher. Of course, there were lots of quotations. There are lots of quotations by him or through him which didn't make sense humanly. Perhaps human nature got blamed uh, of alien nature. And there is something for us to realize that Hippocrates was poisoned and the poison was acting through him. But he has tons of fabulous, fantastic quotations, wisdoms, sages, intelligence, even also inventions which very, very few people know about. That's Hippocrates. But of course, he also got attacked by alien nature because he had a bright soul with a good neurological system starting up here. Of course, he was vegan, but many others around him not so much. So he got infected many times also. To know who you are and to be that person. To know who you are as a human, not as a hybrid or an animal or any of the varieties of the mutations, but an actual human, then to live up to that. It is the number one purpose for every human being, or sustaining and as well as containing the number one purpose for all human beings, which is, what is the number one purpose for humans? A lot of good answers. I can hear it through my hearing. Is to sustain human nature. Very good. Very, very good. That's a number one goal, number one purpose. As better we do it, as better we will be. To not fear others seeing your vulnerabilities. You don't have to be afraid for others to see you as a kind woman who is gentle, who is truthful. Gentleness automatically means authentic. Automatically means truthful. The other day, someone was pointing at two people or thinking about two people and telling me they are gentlemen. I mean, no, they are not gentlemen, my friend. They are polite criminals. That's the truth. They were two guys who were very nicely. They were able to express themselves very nicely, but they were lying and cheating. So that's not gentle. So politely offending someone is not gentle. Gentleness will always mean authentic as a human, being authentic as a human, being truthful as a human, being helpful as a human, or helpful in real English, supportive for humans, for humankind. Being confident to walk away from situations where you cannot be yourself. It's not always easy because that's many cases we there are many cases when we simply don't have any other choice or other chances and opportunities to do something, and it's many cases very hard to walk away from uncomfortable, harmful, disrespectful, damaging, injuring, bothering situations or events or happenings. But at that point we need to think, being thoughtful, honest, or healful, intelligent, necessary, kind. That means think, then make a decision. And then if there are no possible solutions available which are mutually satisfied, which could be mutually satisfied, then we do need to walk away, because it does not make sense to actually be to be harmed, or to be in a worst place, or in a worst case, or in a worse situation than before, when you are actually supporting, helping other humans or living beings or things to be better or to be well. If you are getting harmed in the time being, in the meantime, and most of the times it's a big no-no, you will have to quit the situation until you could actually be there for someone mutually satisfyingly. It's very important. That's where we are at home, that's when we are living, that's when we love, and we also feel loved back too. Being loved back too. Being awake to your own feelings. Oh my goodness, that's not an easy case. Which are my own feelings over here around here? Had many times, right? Especially in wrong situations, or situations that are not the most suitable for us. How can I be really awake to my own feelings when my feeling has been disturbed? That's not always easy, but it is possible. Many times, all you need to do is to wash your face, wash your hands, wash your arms, wash your legs with water, refresh yourself, have a sleep, have a nap, clean your cells, clean your biological systems, especially your guts or your brain membranes or your vagus nervous central system area. We need to avoid disturbances as much as is possible. I'm using these. Everybody has these, and if you're using these, and if they have the voice to call instrument, or microwave instruments, they could get into your brain, and you could hear noises and voices even with your ear holes being completely blocked, plugged, covered, so on. It's not easy in this world today. Many people has gone either up or down under the ground just to avoid harm's way, disturbances, and pollutions. But we have to do that to fulfill our number one purpose in this world today as is. Everybody knows that there is madness on earth, and the only way for us to actually remain healthy instead of healthy, we don't want anything to do with hell normally. Yeah, so we need to use our good, humane, creative thinking abilities to actually be well. then we need to act upon those. Sometimes we need to clean ourselves neurologically, or we need to clean our blood, our cells, so we can actually think instead of letting something else doing that for us. Of course, those when that happens, that those are never good, or that is never a good option. Being free from others' opinions of you. Now, if it's a good opinion, let them come in. If it's a good fire, let it burn. Right? Play along with it, go with it, be with it, stick with it, nourish it, flourish it, share it, represent it. Good fire is what keeping everything alive well. Now it could be cold fusion propelled or hot fusion propelled. The human biological system or human nature uses both, depending on which one works when, or how, when, why, so on. Accepting and loving yourself, self. It's very important. No matter what, no matter what, no matter what, you always have to accept as well as love yourself. It doesn't mean to be admirer. Doesn't mean to be egoist in a bad way. That means evil or devilish. It doesn't mean to be selfish. Perhaps it means the opposite. Because as more you actually capable of respecting as well as loving yourself, that means accepting yourself as a human, no matter what, no matter how much garbage may get in you, no matter how much injuries you may have, no matter how much mutations you may gone through as a human, or no matter how much animal or beast you may have turned already. As a human, you always need to respect, accept yourself with true care towards yourself, so you can do it for others too. Self-care goes to long run. Self-care is an extension on already a, a preparation to actually extend your goodwill, your goodness, your human nature. We cannot really be there for others in a way of which we cannot be there for one or for ourselves completely well. Does it make sense? Among humans, between humans, it is possible to be there for others who are not human natured or not as much human natured, and yet you cannot really do it for yourself, but you know you can do it for others. That makes sense. But towards other completely human natured beings, you could only be there for others if you're capable of being there for yourself in that category of nature also. Because we are 99.8%, 99.8% humans, we are normally exactly the same. Sometimes you may find yourself, or I might find myself, or we may find ourselves that we cannot be there for us or for ourselves as is completely well, so we will need support from others. But yet there are others with troubles, injuries, or infections who we could still be there for them better than they are, better than they could be there for themselves. Because we do have the capacity to actually help others in wrong situations to reach a certain degree of well-being from and that from that point on they will be able to regain their wholesomeness, their holiness, their divine holy human nature again. We are at 40 minutes now, so aloha.